So we have a very interesting elite boss going on, which doesn't allow us to use a single Paragon. And you guys might be saying stuff like, well, you're gonna cheese it with the VTSG. Nope, you're not. Nope, they actually banned it. There's actually 0 Paragons, 0, no VTSG, and no actually decent towers versus like the tier 4 and the tier 5 elite bosses. And that is what is gonna make this thing really interesting, because we're gonna have to defend with all of these like tier 5s and just essentially god boost in a way these tier 5 towers so they can actually defeat this boss. Now I did forget to mention that to make this thing happen, the boss health and the boss speed have been reduced to 40 and 50% respectively, so this is obviously going to be a little bit easier than usual, but keep in mind 40% of HP for a boss that has tens of millions of HP is still a very big number, and Vortex is the fastest boss balloon in BT6. I think a great thing about this boss is that we're not going to be farming that hard. I don't think, I'm still going to do the things, don't get me wrong, it's just that you don't have to try as hard because there's no way to spend the money in the first place. I also feel like this boss is going to be a little bit different than what we're used to, because usually when you play bosses, the difficulty is concentrated in like the first few tiers, I want to say, and then you basically take a nap when tiers 4 and 5 arrive, I guess. But this is going to be different. This is actually going to be the opposite, because they gave us every single tower that we need to defeat the early ones, but because there are no Paragons, the late ones are actually going to be the ones that are kind of problematic. So I just expect to get a sniper, which is the thing that you usually get for Vortex. We might even go for something like the Spike, but let's just use the good old sniper, I guess. And take a look at the damage that just the 204 does. I mean, this thing is probably gonna beat it by itself. If we're buying the Elite Defender, it would be just to speed things up, I guess, a little bit. And you know what? I'm actually gonna do it. Let's just not make it longer than necessary. Let me just get the Elite Defender, set it on strong, and this thing is, yeah, it's just eating up the boss. This is exactly what I meant when I said that these early ones are gonna be easy, and this is gonna go for tier 2 and tier 3 as well. Thankfully, they allowed us to have the mat, for example. They allowed us to have the Millipede Bomb and the Spike Factory. I think, yeah, there we go. There's the Spike as well. So I don't expect, these first few tiers to be difficult, and we're only going to be focusing down on farming. But here goes the tier 1. Pretty easy, pretty solid clear, I want to say, by the Elite Defender. There goes. It's only round 42, by the way. And let me just turn off all the star before the next round starts. So let's just use Quincy's level 3 ability, clear out all these camos, and then just business as usual. Sell this guy, get the central markets going. We're going to go into a banana central, and I'm going to see you guys in a second, because this is essentially what I'm going to be doing for the next like 17 rounds. I actually have an idea for one of the upcoming tiers. It's going to be tier 4, and I want to use a tower that I'm not exactly using too much, but it's great versus bosses, and it is due to a mechanic that I recently learned about in Rogue Legends, actually. So yeah, you guys are going to have to wait a second, just because it's a little bit overpowered versus tier 2, I believe. I'm going to try and defeat the tier 2 the same way I did the tier 1, so I'm going to get the Elite Defender. I was thinking this guy might need a little bit of help though, so it's like one single Spike Storm going to be good enough. I mean, this is still cheaper than getting the mat, and that's what I'm kind of getting at. I should probably be buying the Transbret as well, by the way, and we need to be looking to league Bloons, actually. Now, so let's use the Spike Storm ability. It is doing a lot of damage, though. Oh my god. Yeah, a little bit of an issue maybe if Quincy or, like, these defensive towers get stunned, which is the annoying part of playing this map like this one, like the end of the road. But hopefully we league a Bloon, actually. I'm still keeping the sniper on strong, and then once something leaks, he just gets the extra attack speed and we're good to go. Actually, on a farming note, which needs to continue while the boss is ongoing, by the way, so let's not mess it up, but I feel like the mat is about there with what I want to do, which is I just want to get the banana essential. So do we have enough money? We have 135, which is, oh, it's $3,000 off. Come on, dude. All right, so I see a 45 to Moab that's not gonna get popped. We're gonna leak something. Yes, switch this guy to first and then go on strong. Yeah, we get a huge burst of damage. That's amazing. All right, now let's use the Spike Storm because 63 is on the field, and we also need to be making a little cash, actually, because I still haven't bought the banana central. Let's get the banana central. Let's use Quincy's level 3 ability because 63. Oh, we need to use the other one, actually. Wait a minute, do we have an issue on 63? Okay, I feel like for the third wave of ceramics, we need to switch the sniper to first, so it helps out a little bit with all these ceramics. Let's also get the jungle drones because this is making me a little bit uneasy. Hopefully something leaks, but just a tiny bit. Oh, nothing leaked, actually. Let's switch this guy strong then. I also feel like we could use the mat for like the tier 3, and then for the tier 4, a very special surprise incoming. Well, I guess some of you guys might already kind of have an idea of what the special tower is going to be, quote unquote. It's not exactly a special tower. It's a tower that I personally have not used that much, but it's actually really good versus bosses. Let's actually try and leak something out of these balloons. It's not looking good. Okay, so let's just use the Spike Storm, get rid of the tier 2 really quick. There we go, and I think we just sell both of these guys, put all of this money back into 420 farms. Alright, so we've been farming pretty well. One of the novelties, I guess, and things that you don't see too often in my farming setups is an Ultra Boost Engie, but this guy's currently hooked up to the Banana Central, but I'm gonna unhook him, and then we're gonna be using it on some other towers later down the line. So first off, let me get the mat. We do need to get some extra damage going, so first off, let me just do Quincy's ability, get the mat going. I feel like we probably need to get the Summer Phoenix as well. And you know what, while the Phoenix ability is active, I think I should be focusing down all of these mob class Bloons, so I'll just get them down, and there we go, in comes the boss. Alright, so can this single mat defeat this boss is my question. I feel, oh wait a minute, this cannot win by itself, huh? I mean, I feel like if I use the ability, it's gonna be super strong, but this changes things a little bit, because I thought that like just a single mat was gonna be enough, but apparently it's not. So I don't want to say we have a problem, because we don't, but we're gonna need to buy some other towers. So let's just start with the Carpet of Spikes, I guess, and I think it's time to unhook the Tech Bot from the Banana Central and hook it to the mat for a change. Alright, I don't like this actually. Maybe I should have had the mat in a different spot, honestly. So let's go like this while the overclock is active. Oh yeah, this mat ability, by the way, in case you guys have forgotten how good it is, it's insane. It's really good. Let's just keep farming, by the way, while everything is going on, because I did place all these marks as I usually do to kind of mark their spots and just kind of have just like an overview on where everything is going to go, right? And these guys actually do seem to be doing a good job. So the overclock is still active, so I'm going to use the ability while it's active. Use the Carpet Spikes as well, combine them together, because why not? There we go. Yeah, once you move Vortex so far back that he's just barely moving from the spawn, you know that you're doing a good job with your defenses. But again, this is a very cheap defense in comparison to what you would normally need to defeat the tier 3 boss. So again, I'm not complaining, but you know, just getting ready for the tier 4, honestly. And I'm gonna do the thing, guys. Okay, so the thing that I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna tell you, it's gonna be the Megalodon. Actually, that's not the new interaction that I learned. It's like I think everyone knows at this point that the Megalodon is kind of OP versus bosses. But recently in Rogue Legends, actually, I learned of some new interaction with the Beast Handlers, which you guys might have known about, but it was kind of new to me. So we're gonna try and do it versus this specific boss, because the boss needs to be Vortex. Alright, so there goes the tier 3, and let's get ready for the tier 4. So keep the farming going just in case. I'm not sure what's gonna be happening to the tier 5. This one was a little bit surprising to me, honestly. I thought that just the mat could take care of the entire thing. It seems like it's not going to be able to, so I'll just build a couple more farms just in case. Alright guys, so as round 99 is ending and the tier 4 boss is about to appear, let me show you guys what the plan is. So first off, we need to create the Megalodon, and I was thinking maybe this guy is gonna be the main one. It's really important to have the main beast handler here on the right side, actually. So let me merge up a couple of these guys into this main one, buy the Megalodon, and these other ones that I bought on the side are just to increase its beast power. Alright, so now because this guy is merged to the main one, I should be able to put the Megalodon here on the Lord of... Oh, wait a minute. Why not, though? Wait a minute. Does this thing only work with the birds, actually? Did they get global range? What if I get a portable lake? Is this going to be a valid target, or is it just straight up not going to work? Let me actually try it. Oh, no, you cannot move it, actually. All right. Okay, so I still bought the Megalodon, and I maxed everyone out, but let me just tell you guys what I wanted to do as this boss is upcoming. We can actually... Oh, I should have... Wait, did I connect this guy to the... Yeah, there we go. We connected to the Beastlander, so he's now also getting overclocked as well. But essentially, what I meant to do was I wanted to have the main Megalodon on the right side, and then keep this guy on the left side, kind of transfer the fish right onto the left side, onto the Lord of the Abyss. And then because Vortex stuns everyone around it, the interaction that I learned in Rogue Legends is that if you want to stun the Megalodon, or I guess any beast handler, you need to be stunning the main tower and not the beast itself. And so my idea was I'm gonna keep the main one on the right side, and then this guy is gonna like permanently be able to attack and not care about the Vortex, which is a thing that only works with Vortex, by the way. It's a very specific thing. I mean, just to be fair, this thing still works, by the way, so you guys are gonna see it in a second. Vortex is gonna proc the stun, there you go, but the Megalodon, the shark itself is not getting stunned because the main tower is not getting stunned itself. So I guess it still works, but it would have been cooler if we had the fish here on the right side and then just transfer it over to the left side. But actually, I think you learn something new every day, I guess. I actually didn't know that you cannot do that with the fish. I assume because the birds have global range in their pickup targets, I assume that you would be able to transfer the fish as well, but I guess I don't play enough Beast Handler to know that. Alright, so trying to speed this thing up a little bit, we got the Flying Fortress. This is just like a defensive tower, and I also bought the Mad on the side. I've got the Ray of Doom, which you guys can barely see. I'm also going to give all of these guys a Perma Brew, and then eventually we want to be ultra boosting as many of these guys as possible, but we want to ultra boost the Shark as well, because it does work. Let's use all of these abilities. The Mad just bombarding from downtown is actually still really cool. Unfortunately, no God boosting, as in no, you know, temple buffs and stuff like that, but I feel like we should be able to manage the tier 5, even though it's going to have like a lot of HP. If we buy the correct towers, we should be able to pull this off. So I'm gonna see you guys in a second when we're done farming and before the tier 5 arrives. Alright, and this is gonna be the last bad balloon around 119, which means after this one the boss appears, but I'm gonna need to sell all of these farms. Let's see how much money we got. So that's 2.6 million. That's great. Let's now buy, I guess, a bunch of tier 5 towers. I already have the carpet of spikes, the mad, the ray of doom here at the back, the flying fortress. We got a 10x tax Megalodon, which we can actually just buff up a tiny bit with the jungle drums. Let's also get the super mines. It's not in range, but well, once it gets out buffed, it's actually gonna be. Oh, you guys know what we should do? I'm actually gonna do it. We should do the Plasma Monkey Fan Club. Yeah, this is a great tower. I'm actually gonna get another call to arms just so we have 100% uptime on the ability between this and the homeland. Yeah, let's get the Plasma Monkey Fan Club. All these guys are up to tier 4 because due to your recent changes, actually gets a lot of extra attack speed, and the attack speed carries over to the ability, which is really cool. We need to get the ice as well, so I'm gonna get the ice just like this. It's a super build, and guys, is this? I mean, maybe some more damage amplification towers. I don't know if this is gonna be enough, guys. I mean, just throw everything at it at this point. Just buy all the helis. I guess we could also be buying something like this, like the Sky Share. The game is gonna lag like crazy, but it is what it is. Hope this is enough, guys. We bought a bunch of towers, and this guy has 13 million HP. That's crazy. Alright, let's get it going. So the Mad is attacking from downtown with the ability. Everyone is. I hope everyone is going to work. Alright, so this might not be as easy as I thought it was gonna be, honestly. I thought that it's gonna be like kind of challenging, but not that much, just because I thought that Ninja King had planned this thing in a sense that this is supposed to be possible. So I feel like if you just buy, you know, all the tier 5s, they should win, right? Let me actually buy a tower that you have not seen in a very long time. Pop side, and how crazy is this guy? He's not gonna be doing anything. But let's actually get the Plasma Monkey Fan Club going. All of them are going to get stunned, and that's why I use the ability, because Vortex is getting dangerously close. And look at this thing. The guys are actually doing it. They are keeping Vortex in place. So let's do the combo with the Homeland and the Mad ability. This is insane, by the way. Use the Spike ability as well, and the Glue Storm. Alright, that's so many things happening on screen. I did not need to farm as much as I did. And if you guys have not beaten this, just don't farm as much. But what's doing the most amount of damage is probably this guy, right? It has to be the Beast Handler. There's nothing else. Maybe the Mad is like at number 2. It has like 2 million pods, but it got some of those pods beforehand. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that this Megalodon is just carrying it as the way that Ninja Q intended for us to beat this thing. Alright, so a little bit more than halfway there. We are keeping the boss in place, which is a great sign actually, which means that we do have more than enough damage. I'm gonna be honest, this is low-key fun. You don't get to do this thing very often in BT6, and especially you don't go out of your way buying a lot of tier 5 towers when you have, you know, perfectly capable Paragons to do the same job. So by the way, the Supermine is just getting stacked at the back and never going to see any action, just sitting here sad at 0 pops. It's fine. The most important thing is that we won. So let's do one last round of abilities, use everything that we have. I feel like the Plasma Monkey Fan Club, this thing is always stunned, by the way. We got to use it once and it was like for like 3.5 seconds, and that's about it. But yeah, the Megalodon is definitely, oh yeah, look at this guy. The last time we saw him, he was at like 8 million pops. Now he's at 12. He's set on strong, so you know the only thing that he's attacking is the boss. So the majority of this damage has definitely been done by the Megalodon. And there it goes. That was a very fun Vortex, actually, without Paragons. It is possible. It's gonna be a mess on screen for sure. You don't need to farm as much, but definitely possible. Alright, so this is our end setup. That is gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you all in the next one.